kill you. It's like it's easy. I read your book. I know all your tricks. Let's see how well you play yours.
What's up, guys? So here we go into a video of me calling out Tim Bradley. Let's have an exhibition match, Tim. You seem to know boxing so well. You seem to know how to teach boxing on Top Rank so well. Let's see what you know and what you knew when you used to fight versus now when you're, very likely part of my own Patreon, right? Bringing out and trying to teach my boxing. So here, we got Tim Bradley. And Tim Bradley's a position 1 fighter. He stays in one position. He's pretty fast. He can throw punches pretty well on the line, flood the line pretty well. He's pretty active. But if you notice in this clip, it's a lot of punches. It's a lot of ways to control the line by attacking it, right? And he's pretty quick. He's getting it a lot done. But how safe is that overall, okay? Now again, it looks pretty clean. You can get a lot of work done controlling the line like that if you can be in contact with it. There's a lot of value there, right? Able to keep Provodnikov off, keep him controlled, right? But this takes a lot of energy, right? Now, first, we're going to take a look at how he trains, and we're going to see, how exactly does Tim Bradley wind up with a style like this? Well, here he is on the heavy bag. He's going to be shooting his 1-2s, and his head doesn't move, okay? This is a very, very, very important aspect of this idea, because what he's looking to do is remain in a position to always be able to interact with the line, right? He wants to be able here, so every time his opponent gets on the front foot, he can shoot his jab or his probing jab or his whatever, but he's never going to move his head, okay? He doesn't move his head really when he shoots his right hand. He changes position a little bit, but he doesn't really move his head, okay? Now again, through that entire combination here, 1, 2, 3, no head movement, okay? But he is able to interact and touch the line a lot, very quickly, okay? Now again, this is kind of the idea behind arm punching, right? And again, head movement is what's responsible for layering your punches with power. And we can see, as a fighter who had over 30 victories in the ring and only had 13 knockouts, he does not have any power. And this technical flaw is exactly why. Now, it's not only that he doesn't move his head when he punches, it's that his head is also literally always on the front foot and in the same position as well. Notice? Okay? Now we're going to take a look at some of his double end bag work, and you're going to get to see that it's exactly the same. Okay? A little bit of slipping after he punches, but that also just goes to show that he's not utilizing the maximum position of his front foot to throw his right hand to layer it with power. Again, he's not a power puncher, and he doesn't really move his head. Okay? Now, we're going to look at one of the drills that's very likely most responsible for that technique. And I'm going to be calling this, and when we watch it in his film, and we're going to be watching a few more clips of this technique not going so well for him, but I'm going to call this his double end bag work. Okay? He's going to be playing double end bag here. Okay? Here he goes. Look at where his head is. No head movement, nothing. But he's interacting with the line. This is the position that he meets on the line and fights in most often. Now, this is what's responsible for him being able to shoo Provodnikov off the line so well in this clip, right? As Provodnikov tries to get here, shoos him off the line, right? He misses his initial control, right? Whoop. Here he readjusts, right? And he's able to re-control him. Now, the problem is this is all in round 5. Provodnikov has already beaten the goddamn crap out of Tim Bradley for 5 rounds. I don't know how they gave Tim Bradley a single point in this fight. Now, we're not done with the film study. There's a couple of things I want to show here, but here's Tim Bradley practicing his shadow boxing, okay? No head movement. He just gets on the line, a little pivoting on the front foot, no head movement. No head movement. This is how he practices his jab in all of his training sequences, on every piece of equipment. Okay? Now this move here, how he slips to the body, this is one of the great things that he does in his body or in his routine. And I'm going to get to show you just a second of him using it in the fight. So pay attention. But this was the best thing he does in any of his fights. He does have a pretty good slip to the front foot and left hook to the body. It's pretty good. The only thing is, he doesn't know how to get into that slipping position while he punches, right? Head movement, right? He can only slip without it. Now, we're going to take a look at the bad, right? So we saw what looked good in those clips, right? With Bradley being able to control the space pretty well. And again, this is late in the fight already. I don't want to say late, it's round 4. But here he is controlling the space and being predictable. His head's in the same spot. And Provodnikov's not a great fighter. He's like an average guy. Like if you went to the gym for 10 years and you've got this guy who's going to the gym for 10 years with you and he just hits the heavy bag and he's just throwing punches and bombs all day long, that's Provodnikov. He's a 20-year-old version of that 40-year-old guy that all he does is throw power punches at the heavy bag, right? Provodnikov just got to peak much earlier than 40, okay? Now, that means that this kind of style is going to be very common in boxing, okay? Now, I'm not trying to be a dick, but nowhere ever in boxing ever will someone at the caliber of Tim Bradley's level ever get to close to a world championship ever again. Never, never, never. Now look, as Tim Bradley meets him on the line, he throws the 1-1-2 exactly the same way. He's not transitioning his weight. He didn't transition his weight to the front foot. He didn't change positions. He didn't cross his opponent's line. Absolutely awful technique. And then right back into that cross, right? Because that right hand is a setup punch, so he does not have to leave that zone so he can continue firing his next punch. Again, exactly like the idea of him being on the double end bag during this crazy long sequence of taps, right? That right hand he threw was so that he could throw that next left cross. That's all he was setting up. Now, continuing, this is the inevitable outcome of practicing and throwing your punches like this, of always having your head in the same spot, of always throwing the same jab, of always meeting on the line, of always stepping with his punches, okay? Is he's going to get walked into these giant punches. And again, through this entire sequence, he does not move his head. He does not move his head while he's punching at all, right? His head is in the exact same place, and Provodnikov catches him with huge punch after huge punch after huge punch. Again, because Tim Bradley is playing double end bag, okay? He's just using that one drill to throw his punches, and usually people don't want to get hit punched in the face, right? I know, it's a real popular saying, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? Or punched in the mouth, I know. It's bullshit, but you still have a plan, right? But it's harder to enact your plan if someone's flooding the line with all of those greedy punches, right? With all those little pitter-pat punches that don't really have an effect on the fight, don't really have an effect on your opponent, right? And we took a look at that one, we took a look at this. Now we're going to take a look at this one. Now here is Tim Bradley slipping the jab, body shot, boom. This is probably the worst one he does in the fight. He does like 10 of them or 12 of them. They're excellent. But you fight how you train, okay? We can clearly see him practice that in his shadow boxing. Here it is in his fight. Boom. Even though the technique is kind of wild, he's not even on the ground here, barely on the ground here. He's kind of pendulum in the air, whatever. But again, here he is playing double end bag. The same jab, the same stepping with his punches, right? Watch him take a step with that jab or lean into it. Watch him bring his weight back and then jump and lean into this right hand, right? Again, over and over and over again. And here we go. Now we've got this kind of longer clip. It's a 30-second clip. We're going to look at Tim Bradley play double end bag over and over and over again with Provodnikov. Again, look at him in the same spot. Look at how tired he is from throwing this double end bag combination. Again, it's extremely difficult to throw this kind of level of Wing Chun punches, of arm punches. It makes you very arm weary, right? And we can see that Tim Bradley continues to try to get into the same position over and over and over again and continues to get hit. Here he is in that position here, getting hit. Here he is about to make it here. Here he is back in that position. Boom, gets hit. Here he is back in that position. Throws some punches. Wing Chun punches. No weight transition. His head's in the same spot. Same spot, same spot. Boom, gets hit. Same spot, gets hit. Same spot, same spot, same spot. He was able to disrupt his opponent's line perfectly just there as he tried to get into range with that hook. Same spot. Look at him throw all 4 of those punches from the same position. Same position. Here he is, slipping to the front. Excellent body shot, even when he's hurt, right? We fight how we train. Notice he doesn't ever slip to that position when he's throwing his right hand, right? He doesn't do that when he throws his right hand. Instead, he just gets punched in the face. Right there, right? He didn't get his head off the line, and he's getting hit right there. Again, the same technical problems, right? Now, that was a little bit better as he falls off balance when he throws his right hand here, gets off the line. But that's what it actually looks like when you have head movement. You're actually able to clear your opponent's punches, right? To get your head off the line. Anyway, I think I have one more clip. No, I don't. There was one more funny one. But anyway, Tim Bradley, you're part of my Patreon, okay? I know you are because the people who run your network make sure of it. All the legal battles I've been having with you guys about copyright and all the stuff that I have to tell you guys, all the information I have to give you when I send my YouTube counter notifications to them, all the free boxing wisdom that I have to say to justify why my video is not your video. And then you just take that information and you guys try to use it in your telecasts to push me out of my own space of boxing that I created for myself through film study. I think it's disgusting, Tim Bradley, and I want to fight you for it, okay? So exhibition, or we could spar. We don't even have to have cameras, okay? We don't have to let nobody see. But just fight me, bro. I promise you, I'm going to do worse. I will get in the ring with you. I'll probably be 135, 140. You can outweigh me by 20 pounds. It's no big deal. I'm going to put a way worse beating on you than Provodnikov did.